I'll share something concerning my school experience, my grade school, that is. And yeah, so something I started quite early but finished quite late was not the best of feelings. Where you start and all of a sudden you start coming across speed bumps here and there, and you have to stop and come back again and stop and then come back again. And at some point, you sort of lose motivation. You feel like maybe this is not for me, it's not made for me. And I feel maybe this is where some of our friends are right now. And some of them have actually finished, but they've been unable to graduate, no graduation ceremony, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So going back, fourth grade, I had to pause for like two terms. Then I went back. I was taken back a grade behind. From there again, I did about a year, and at least I was smart enough. Yeah, so I was privileged to skip fifth grade into sixth, which I did well. I did my seventh grade, my eighth grade, first term only. Yeah, so after that again, I had to pause, and this was in a series the longest that I had to pause, and it was like a total of almost 5 years. And I was like, okay, like this is really just not gonna do it for me. And yeah, so we tried fixing up school and whatnot, but there was really no support at all. And a lot of times we're not really going to understand what's happening. Where you put in effort, but there's no results. Yeah, so it's not like I didn't want to go to school. I did, but circumstances just didn't allow. There was nobody to help, and I actually didn't have a place to stay. And so I had to leave. I was privileged to go to South Africa, and then that's why I stayed for like 4 to 5 years. And we also looked for school there. It didn't go well, so I met somebody there who's a friend till now. And he was working, and I started doing a bit of some work with him here and there, here and there, here and there. So when the almost 5 years elapsed, I came back and I had to go back to eighth grade again. And it felt like mental torture to me because you come back and you find your friends are doing the best of things. They've gone up, others are going to university, college, and whatnot, and yeah, back there. Yeah, so sitting down with my brother, who actually told me he's going to pay for my fees, I'll be living with him. I was like, okay, I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah, so finally, anyway, I accepted, and I did manage to finish. But yeah, in fact, I think there were some mental issues that also started coming up with it, and I was a bit depressed. And I remember the same eighth grade when I went back, my class teacher could notice that I was not really concentrating the way I was supposed to. And she called me and she was like, okay, Yande, what's going on? Do you need to talk? I'm like, no, I'm okay. But I really wasn't. And she was a mom, so she could notice. And she was like, okay, cool. Who are you living with? And I was like, my brother. She was like, okay, cool. I need to talk to him. I was like, okay. So yeah, so I went home and I told my brother to say, oh, okay, so my class teacher wants to see you. And he was like, oh, what did you do? Like, nothing. Honestly, I don't know. Oh, she asked, are you okay? And I was like, oh, okay. So from there, they met and she explained to say, okay, my performance wasn't really okay. And often I would not be with everybody else. I was that person that would be alone when everybody else is playing, alone when everybody else is doing other activities. Yeah. So from there, we sat for our grade 9 examinations, and I wrote. And I remember coming to check the results when they were out. Funny thing is, when you're looking for your results, when they stick them up, you just never see your name. I was stressed. I was stressed. Yeah, so I was almost going home because I was looking for my name on the results board, the list that was stuck on the notice board. I couldn't see my name, and it was not really the best of feelings. And I was almost going home, and a friend of mine was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Okay, I can't find my name. I don't know what's happening." So my name was there. I was just blind. Yeah, I was like, "No, but I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. Let's go check. Let's go check." So it was actually the third from the top. The relief. You can actually breathe. Yeah. So high school, went to high school was another issue again. I never really healed. So this is something that I've actually grown up with, and till now it's something that I am fighting, and I'm learning to say certain things that we ask in life we'll never really get to find the answers to unless God gives us the answers to those questions that we have. So, yes, I did manage to complete my high school. So, when I grew up, I started wondering how come support was so difficult. How come everybody had daddies and I did not? Yeah, so that affected my mental health, and I grew up with that. And to date, it's still something that I am still fighting. And I just learned to say certain questions that we ask, life is really not going to be able to give them to us. And only God can answer these questions. I've always been asking myself, so how come dad was never around? Like, what happened? Was I the problem? Did I do something? Like, what really happened? And I've never like really gotten an answer for that to now. So you learn to say there's a purpose for every person that is alive, and others, it's simply for him to probably have me with mom, and that was it. And maybe he had to go his way and his purpose was done. So I have to learn to forgive people because they do not write their own stories in life. Everybody has something that they come for. When they leave, it is fulfilled, then they go. And I'm learning to let go of certain things because it is not my job really to carry them forward towards when we're heavy laden and we're carrying all these things on our shoulders. Like, Christ has already carried them for us, and it's not our job to depress ourselves and go through all these worry moments. The answer is there. Like, lay your burdens down for Christ to carry. Yeah. My name is Yande, and that is my story.